Hello, and welcome to another video from 3.5 Archive. Today, we're going to be doing our 61st D&D 3.5 Prestige class review, looking at the Chameleon Prestige class from Races of Destiny. Chameleons are dilettantes who master all of the 4 classic archetypes of adventurers. A Prestige class version of the Factotum, Chameleons can come from a whole range of classes, and can imitate almost any class as well. The Chameleon is a jack of all trades meant to fill in gaps in your party's roles, or to fill in for whoever didn't make it to game night. To become a Chameleon, you need to be a human or a doppelganger. You also need 8 ranks in Bluff and Disguise, and 4 ranks in Sense Motive and Spellcraft. These skill requirements look a bit steep until you realize that this class also asks for the Able Learner feat, which makes the cost for all skills as if they were class skills, although your maximum ranks are still determined normally. This isn't the greatest feat out there, but it does help you meet the requirements for this Prestige class, which overall are fairly restrictive just for the variety of different skills that they ask for. Beguiler has all of these skills as class skills, so that's one option, but a rogue would be fine as well. You could also come in as a bard. You will struggle to make it into this Prestige class as a fighter or another class like that. In fact, the example character for this Prestige class is Jonata Quimble, a human with 5 levels of rogue and 1 level of chameleon. So while this Prestige class lets you imitate any class, it's rather specific about what sorts of classes are able to qualify for it easily. Still, given the versatility this Prestige class gives you, these restrictions are understandable. So let's look at what the Chameleon class gives you. You get a D8 hit die, 3/4 base attack bonus, and no good saving throws. They all advance at 1/3 your class level. This seems really bad right now, but it'll make more sense as we continue onward. You also get 4 plus your intelligence modifier skill points per level, which is a major downgrade for the rogues, bards, and beguilers entering this class, but you should be able to prioritize skills and come out decently well from this. Remember, not every skill needs to be maxed out to be effectively mastered for the purposes of the game. At level 1, you gain Aptitude Focus, your first class feature. This is an ability that can be used once per day, and you get another use per day at level 5 and level 10. You meditate for 1 hour, and then gain a particular aptitude focus for 24 hours, or until you change your focus. You can choose between Arcane Focus, Combat Focus, Divine Focus, Stealth Focus, and Wild Focus. These focuses give you a +2 bonus that later becomes a +4 bonus on particular stats or rolls. Arcane Focus allows you to prepare and cast arcane spells from the spell list of any arcane spellcasting class, using intelligence as your casting stat, and using a spellbook to prepare spells. You start with spell slots of 0th, 1st, and 2nd level. Although your number of 2nd level spells is 0 at start, so you'll need exceptional intelligence to cast any at level 1 in this class. However, as a rogue, bard, or beguiler, it's fairly likely you have at least a 12 intelligence. Your spellcasting, being able to cast any arcane spell with the only requirement being the borrow or steal spellbook, is fantastic versatility. And your spellcasting improves as you go on, eventually giving you spells of up to level 6. You also get +2 to will saves and to knowledge arcana and spellcraft checks, and then at level 5 these improve to +4. This helps shore up your bad saving throws with this class, and is probably why it has no good saves by default. Divine Focus works similarly, using the same spell table for spells per day, except you can cast any divine spells instead. You need a good wisdom score for this, and you can't do any spontaneous spell conversion, but still, having access to this many spells, even capping out at level 6, is amazing. This also gives you a +2 to fortitude and will saves, that improves to +4 at level 5. Combat Focus gives you proficiency with all martial weapons, as well as a +2 in attacks and damage, and a +2 in fortitude saves. Like with the other features, this goes up to +4 at level 5. While not as powerful as full spellcasting, when you want to fight in melee, this is there for you. That said, a character like this is better off focusing on the massive spellcasting power that you get from the Chameleon class. Also, your raw fighting power will still be way behind that of an actual fighter. And to really get the most out of this class, you're going to want good intelligence and wisdom to maximize your spellcasting abilities, so you probably won't have the best physical stats. Stealth Focus gives you trap finding, uncanny dodge, and bonuses on reflex saves, disable device, hide, move silently, open lock, and search checks. This will be nice if you need to fill in for the rogue, but it's the least strong so far since you don't get any sneak attack. If your group doesn't have a rogue, then you can fill in when you run into a dungeon with a lot of traps, or you could just have the cleric make you a wand of find traps and replace this feature pretty much entirely. Lastly, Wild Focus gives you Wild Empathy, with an effective druid level equal to your class level, and bonuses to fortitude saves, as well as climb, handle animal, jump, knowledge nature, and survival. This is very situational. For better or for worse, wilderness survival is very trivial in D&D 3.5, and you would need to know that you were going to have an encounter with animals ahead of time to pick this focus. you likely will almost never use it. And even if you do, you will lag way behind any druids and rangers that would be using it beside you. So those are the aptitude focuses. The ability to switch between arcane and divine spells already gives this class one of the most powerful abilities in the game. Being able to fight somewhat competently will be nice as a backup, as well as find traps when you do need to. This prestige class is already off to a great start. It looks a little bit like a Mystic Theurge would, except you're coming in with rogue abilities as well if you came in as rogue or whatever other class features that you had. So that's an excellent start to a prestige class. It is going to be very multi-ability dependent if you want to make use of all of your different options, but that's sort of a given for a prestige class like this. At second level, you get a bonus feat, but this isn't just any bonus feat, you can change it every day. You do have to meet the prerequisites for each bonus feat you take, but that is still insane flexibility, and the kinds of options you'll be able to unlock with the Chameleon, with this bonus feat, are pretty much endless given how many feats there are in the game. It's suggested maybe that you take, some important qualifying feats like power attack and combat expertise, maybe combat reflexes, so that you can qualify for a whole range of different feats, but it's not necessarily required. There's still a lot of great feats you can take with this feature that have very few prerequisites at all. At level 3, you gain the Mimic class feature ability. You can use this once per day at level 3, twice per day at level 6, and 3 times per day at level 9. This allows you access to evasion as an immediate action for 1 minute, the Rage feature, a smite ability that works on any creature, sneak attack at 1d6 damage per 3 class levels, or turn undead with an effective cleric level equal to your class level. Evasion when needed is excellent. Evasion at all times is better, of course, but having it alongside these other options is arguably better than that, because you're probably not going to be hit by that many area of effect spells every day. Rage will be unlikely to come up unless you really need to pinch hit in melee combat. Same with Smite. Sneak attack will go great with the rogues that come into this class, though the progression is a bit slow. And turn undead as a cleric 5 or 6 levels lower than you should be likely won't be that handy, but the rest of these features are at least decent and will help to make you more effective. At level 4, when you activate your aptitude focus, you also get a +2 bonus to an ability score. This improves to +4 at level 7 and +6 at level 10. This will help your multi-ability dependence in this class, and since it's a competence bonus, you can stack this with ability enhancing items to give you some great spell DCs and bonus spell slots. And if you're in your fighting form, this can give you a good enough strength or dexterity to reliably land some hits and actually deal some damage with them. At level 7, you gain double aptitude. This allows you to adopt 2 aptitude focuses at the same time. Note that due to bonus type overlap, you won't stack your saving throw bonuses if you pick 2 aptitudes that give you the same saving throw, but you can potentially get spellcasting and arcane and divine at the same time, giving you a huge number of options. This is when the class truly becomes extraordinary. By this point, you could be a 12th level character casting 5th level spells in each class. This is only just barely possible as a Mystic Theurge, except you'll also have sneak attack from your rogue class or whatever class you took. You'll have some class features from it, along with the other abilities from this prestige class. A Mystic Theurge who starts as a wizard and cleric will still have more spells than you at this point. A level 5 rogue, level 7 chameleon will have a total of 28 spell slots, not counting bonus spells or cantrips. A level 3 wizard, level 3 cleric, level 6 Mystic Theurge will have 30 spell slots, not counting bonus spells or cantrips. The Chameleon will get access to the same level of spells but fewer of them, with more spell slots at the lower levels. Still, with all these extra abilities, the Chameleon is going to be a very capable character still, and Mystic Theurge type characters are often overloaded with more spell slots than they get to use in a typical adventuring day, so this downside isn't as big as or significant as you might think. At level 8, you get Rapid Refocus. This lets you change your aptitude focus with only 10 minutes of study instead of 1 hour. This is fairly major, although the number of situations where you have 10 minutes instead of 1 hour are not that numerous, so it's probably not going to come up that often. Still, it definitely feels like a major upgrade to your aptitude focuses. At level 9, you get a 3rd use per day of Mimic class feature, and at level 10, your ability boon feature improves to +6, and you can use your aptitude focus 3 times per day. There's no real capstone to this prestige class, but 2 improvements to abilities you already have are pretty decent, as a good way to finish it off. So, what should we think of the Chameleon? This prestige class gives you amazing flexibility. While the extra uses of aptitude focus and ability to switch them more quickly probably aren't that necessary, it's still worth staying in the prestige class to get more spell slots. If anything, it will be hard to leave this prestige class once you've finished all 10 levels of it. Going back to a regular class afterward, if you do, will feel underwhelming. While you won't hit 9th level spells ever, and you won't ever be a true frontline damage dealer, the amount of support and utility you'll be able to provide your party will still make you indispensable. Your ability scores will be excellent too, and if you focus on wisdom and intelligence, you can raise your spell DC to exceptional heights. The ability to switch out feats lets you craft items, brew potions, tack on metamagic feats to your spells, re-optimize yourself for combat, or anything else you can qualify for based on your aptitude focus. Stuck in a prison scenario? Still Spell and Silent Spell are at your fingertips without the commitment they usually come with, although you'll still need to find a way to live without a spellbook. You'll probably want to focus your other feat choices, again, on feats that are prerequisites for lots of other feats, such as Combat Expertise, Power Attack, Dodge, or Improved Unarmed Strike. But even if you don't, just being able to play as a class with access to pretty much every spell out there, along with filling in as a rogue when needed and being decent in combat, is great. The Chameleon gets 2 stars for concept, but 5 stars for execution. It truly shines, and while it strongly defines your character's identity, it gives you so many options that you can fill in any role in your party as second best whenever needed. So that's going to be about it for this D&D 3.5 Prestige class review. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and so on. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time here on 3.5 Archive.